Here's one. What happens if you don't change your oil in your vehicle on a regular basis? You know it's a lubricant, right? Running through your engine. It keeps everything moving smoothly. You need to have that. It's kind of like drinking water for your body. Oil in your engine not only serves to lubricate the bearings in the engine, it also provides hydraulic functions like moving the camshafts. So over time, the oil's chemical composition starts to break down and eventually turns to sludge in your oil. You don't want that. And once this happens, the engine has to work harder and the performance ends up dropping. If you neglect to change your oil for too long, then that sludge will stop lubricating the bearings correctly and provide the wrong viscosity of oil to properly carry out the hydraulic functions. That's why it's important to schedule a regular oil change with a qualified mechanic near you. Speaking of oil, how often should you change it to avoid all these problems? Well, back in the day, it was 3,000 miles. That was the suggested number of miles before you need to change your oil. But now, with today's manufacturers and their recommended oil change, it's between 5,000 and 10,000 miles. And that's also true if you're using synthetic oil. So check your manual to find out for sure about your specific car, make, and model. The manual should tell you how often you need to change your oil based on the type of use and the amount of driving you do. That guy will also tell you what kind of oil to be using in your vehicle. Do you really know the difference between gasoline and diesel? Yes, both are used in internal combustion engines, but the way they ignite is a lot different. Gas engines use spark plugs to create the ignition required to make the engine work, whereas diesel uses extreme compression to create the heat required for ignition. The actual fuels are different as well. Diesel is a combustible hydrocarbon mixture that's created through the distillation process of crude oil. Gasoline is also a hydrocarbon mixture, but has a much lower boiling point and is a flammable substance. Diesel engines have fewer moving parts, so they tend to last longer than gasoline engines. However, they are more costly to repair. So that's the difference between regular gas and diesel. Does it really matter what type of gas I use? The answer is yes. Within the gas industry, though, there are different types of brands. Some are higher level, top tier, and that makes a big difference. And they would include Shell, ExxonMobil, BP, Texaco, and so on. And they are considered higher quality because they add more detergent additives to their gasoline, which helps prevent carbon deposits from forming and settling in your engine to give you, of course, better performance. Now, at these top tier stations, you'll also find different types of gas, and the numbers you see on the pumps that separate unleaded gas from premium, like 87, 89 to 91, 93, that refers to the octane level or rating. Octane is the measure of a fuel's ability to resist knocking or pre-detonation. And for most European makes like BMW, Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, it's recommended for premium gasoline to prevent misfires, knocking, carbon buildup, as well as the side effects of those issues. And here's one more tip to consider when buying gas. Go to a gas station that's fairly busy because you don't want to end up with stale gas that's been sitting for a long time, and avoid filling up when a delivery gas truck is there because they'll be stirring up impurities in the underground gas tanks as it pumps fresh gas into them. Interesting tip, right? Today's video is brought to you by The Cold Plunge. Use discount code DAVE150 at checkout at thecoldplunge.com. Immediately save $150 off your purchase. That's DAVE150 at thecoldplunge.com. There's also a link below this video.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.